we are back with another Black with No Cream podcast. New episode every single Wednesday and Sunday. I'm your host, Ben Haggerty, a.k.a. Ben Real Verse World. And my guest today, it's a special one. Shubham, a.k.a. Shooby, the star of the new Netflix reality competition show, The Circle. Yo, I'm going to be real with you. I don't do reality shows. I never do. I never will. But something got me. This one's different. The show is pretty much Survivor meets social media. In a nutshell, the show is about a group of people who come together via an app and are voted off based on their likeness and influence. Lauren and I pounded through the episodes in literally a matter of days, and Shooby easily was the most likable character out of all the cast. What I didn't expect was how insane his backstory was going to be. This dude has a super interesting life, and it was a lot of fun to hear. But before we go any farther, I just want to put a disclaimer out there. There is a lot of spoilers. If you haven't seen The Circle, if you plan on watching The Circle, you should do that first and then watch this interview, because we definitely give away a lot of what happens in the show. So just putting that out there right now. With all that said, some of the things that we're going to talk about in this episode are Shooby's childhood in the Bay Area, where he grew up in a tech household and was the captain of the tennis team, competed in speech and debate, and was the president of the Indian Club. Dude's a legend. His experience running for governor of the state of California at age 22. With so much ambition, he would crash the political debates to get an opportunity to speak. Shooby's anti-social media pitch strategy that he uses to get casted in the TV show The Circle, which again, it's a show built around the concept of social media. The moment Shooby thought it was all over after he was voted last place on the first night. We talk about this, his future plans, and what his next moves are. It's going to be a great episode, but if this is the first time you're tuning into the podcast, you are probably wondering,
what the fuck is Black with No Cream?
Great question. Black with No Cream is the illest educational resource for content creators fueled by caffeine. Or at least I take my coffee black with no cream, but you can drink or not drink whatever caffeine you fuck with and still be a part of our community. We have thousands of members from all around the world working together by sharing content, asking for feedback, passing tips and tricks along to one another with the goal of pushing each other to become the best motherfucking content creators on earth. And you can join our private group if you want to by going to bwnc.com/join. We would love to fucking have you. Please join. All right, that's it. Enjoy the work week. Keep creating. Make sure to tune in every single Wednesday and Sunday for a new Black with No Cream podcast episode. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram. That'd be awesome. At Black with No Cream. We appreciate that. And subscribe to us on YouTube, where we post a bunch of educational content. And then also, lastly, please share this episode out with someone you think will enjoy it. That is awesome. Everything you guys do is awesome. I'll tell you till I'm blue in the face. Without further ado, I bring to you my episode with Shooby and the most epic podcast intro ever created right motherfucking now.
Attention.
If you stop this podcast recording at any time, you will die.
I don't want to die.
Do you want to live?
Yeah.
You have 24 hours to share this podcast with 5 people or you will die.
I'm kidding, you won't die. You're just weak shit for not sharing.
And the winner of the best motherfucking podcast goes to...
Black with No Cream.
What do you think?
It's so fucking dumb and so fucking Ben Haggerty.
I knew you would say that. We're back. This is the podcast, man. It's live.
This is sick. I love that intro.
Did it sound all right?
That was amazing.
Shooby's in the house. Everybody, round of applause. I think I can trigger that somehow too, to do an applause. Can I? Yes, I can.
Oh, that's sick. That is so sick.
I just told him he just got here, and I was like, yo, we just got this new device so that we can do way more dope stuff on the podcast, which is awesome. Shubham, man, you're in LA. Mm-hmm. You don't live here.
No, so I used to live in LA about 3 years ago. So I went to school in LA, so I was here for about 5 years.
Yeah.
And then I was back in the Bay Area. I've always been back and forth between the Bay Area and LA, but now I'm back.
Okay,
I'm
cool.
back.
So wait, you're officially moved here? Like,
yeah, I think I'll stay here till at least summer.
You're like, I'm just gonna stay.
Yeah, for now. Yeah. I always say if it gets really bad, I'll just drive up north.
Right. I feel you. Yeah, because how far is home? Like 6 hours? 8? How long is that drive?
Because I leave at night or something, so I can make that drive 5 hours easy.
Really?
One little break at Taco Bell, get some stuff. It's a really peaceful drive.
Yeah. No, I've done the drive up the one. In the windy version of it, where you get to like see the coastline, and then we haul down through the highway or whatever. Yeah. It's so cool. Like that side of, just that part of California is so peaceful.
Yeah, I know, man. It's so nice.
I love it. Yo, so okay, you've had a wild life in the past 5 months. When did this show drop?
No. So it's interesting. We shot the film in August, September, and then it aired January 1st.
Right. So you've been going at it for a while.
Yeah, well, it aired literally 6 weeks ago, so all of it has just been happening like recently and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's crazy, yeah, man. It's
But like, did you? All right. So for people who don't understand, let's break it down. Like, because to me, it's like you've been in production, and then there's like the whole edit process, and you have to remain silent, and no one can know, and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of funny because it's like, first, that's crazy that you got on a show, right? You were a personality on a TV show.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
On one of the biggest streaming platforms on earth.
Yeah, man, it's crazy.
And then you have to be quiet, and then the show comes out, and then it's like the reviews, right? So then people go crazy about the show.
Yeah.
So when can you describe what the circle is for people who may not know, who are listening right now?
Sure. Yeah, sure, man. So the circle is a social experiment where 8 different people at one time in a building are living in separate apartments, and the only way you can communicate with each other is through a social media interface, right? Where you put a bio and photos, and through those communications, like with chats, you're rating each other 1 to 8, and you're basically forming bonds and alliances, and you're getting rid of people one by one through those type of chats. You're trying to form bonds, and you're also trying to get rid of people who you don't connect with.
Right, so it's all based on social media. Like the whole tie is social influence and building your influence, and then they rank people, and if you're ranked the least, which is so sad, you get nixed from the show.
I know, man.
And you guys go through the motions on this, and I honestly, bro, I've never been one to tune in to a reality quote unquote show.
Yeah, for sure, man.
You know what I mean? And I know for sure it feels like you aren't the person that tunes into that stuff either.
No, well, I'm actually a big, I like the reality shows that are like competition based.
Like Survivor.
I'm a huge Survivor fan.
Sure.
You know, Big Brother, I think the strategy and just the gameplay is really fun.
Yeah.
But you're right, man. I think what's so interesting about the show is it's transcending the reality show for so many people, because it's just so relevant to the world we live in with social media. Which is why, I think it's so sick.
And I love it too, because when you start it, you're like, your whole character that you like, when we become fans of the character, you're like, I hate social media. And it's hilarious because when you're just always smiling, so you're just like, I hate social media to like with a passion. Like, this is the worst thing ever. And that's how you're introduced to the show, as this guy who, other people come in and they're like, I'm an Instagram model and I travel and do all this stuff. But you're like, I hate this. I hate everything about it. And so everyone's like, well, why is he here?
No, I get that a lot.
So before the show, because now you got like 300,000 people follow you on Instagram. Man. You're verified. You got all the things everyone dreams about when they try to come out to this.
What I mean? Yeah.
Well, like what people work hard for. It's like people
I get it, man. Yeah. 100%.
Do you before this, like, what was your experience on social media? Like, how were you kind of navigating life in general before that?
Yeah, man. So we're in the same generation, so I grew up with it, right? So I knew it. Like, I had Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, and I would use it mostly for jobs or connecting with family or like little projects of mine. And then I would post like maybe once or twice a year.
I know. I'd scroll, dude.
On Facebook it was a little more often, but for the most part it was that. I mean, my whole thing with social media is because I grew up on the tech side a little bit also, I saw that the social media companies were using these mechanisms, right? Like the same thing the slots machines use, the random variable effect, to get us addicted to the platforms. So you go to their sites every time because you're like, you got a new friend request, a new timeline, you're swiping, like your slots machines. And I just thought the addiction was bad, and then a lot of the reports were saying it's terrible for mental health. So my experience was I was always pretty I knew the bad stuff of it, and I always just tried to limit myself because I thought it was better for my like mental health long term. So that's where I was coming into the show. Right. Yeah.
And I think that's a great point too. And it's so crazy to think. How old are you right now?
24.
You're 24. Okay. So for me, I'm 30, and coming up, it was
30.
Yeah.
So young, man.
Thanks, dude. I really appreciate that.
Hell
bro.
Yeah.
Actually, I might be 31. I don't even remember how old I am. But that's what happens when you get up here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure, man.
For me, it was the MySpace era. I don't know if you.
Oh yeah. Well,
dabbled.
I think it was when I was in middle school. It was kind of there.
Yeah.
I think I made one, but I didn't. It was actually more complicated to use than Facebook, if I remember.
It was, because you could customize a lot of stuff with HTML, and there was this whole like. MySpace. This is what the show. I think that's maybe why I connected to it, because it was on MySpace. There was this top 8, right? So these are your top 8 friends. And you guys had to choose your like top whatever, however many contestants there were at a time, and rank people. And you always wanted to be in the first slot. And then if you got moved, there was this whole wave of depression that would come over you. Which is crazy. And sometimes you don't even know these people. So it's like very interesting how the show in my opinion, tied into that aspect of social media. And I think now more than ever, everyone can build their profile to like resemble what they want to be.
Yeah, man, for sure.
But you might not be, which is what you learned in the show.
Yeah, I did learn that. Yeah.
It's so funny because this
100%.
podcast is never me just fully diving in, but this is such an interesting.
Oh, I know, man. It's such a psychological, interesting topic. Yeah.
He started one episode and he hasn't seen any of it. I'm like, you guys, I'm trying to tell them all this stuff. I'm like, dude, and this happens and this happens.
It gets better for sure.
It gets, well, that's the thing. When I started it, I was like, a friend of mine, Molly, shout out to Molly. She like tweeted about it. She's like, what's the circle? And it's been, right. But it got pushed into my Netflix is like pushing it to me and it's suggesting it so much. And I'm like, okay, she's talking about it. It's here. Let's just see what's going on. You click in it and you start watching. I'm like, I don't like this. Joey comes on, it's the Jersey Shore bro, dude.
Sure,
and you're like, oh my God, this guy is so ridiculous. And then you end up loving that dude, and then you're in here and you're just like, this dude is so crazy. But I don't know. I just love the tie of social media and your perspective of it, because now you seem to be using it for good versus, you know, a negative, using it as a negative outlet or so on and so forth. So like, we'll talk way more about the show, but like after the fact, and now you have this explosion of people that care about you through this show.
Yeah, man.
How do you feel like you're navigating social media now?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. I mean, it's such a new thing. I still think, even for everyone who uses it, because the platforms are always changing and there's new stuff there for me. So a lot of it, there's like no roadmap to how to utilize these platforms and stuff. So I'm just trying to do it the best way I can while staying who I am. And then I learned a lot through the show, right? Like I went on an arc a lot with the social media stuff. So I'm trying to just do stuff that I would, and try to do good with it. You know?
Right. Well, and it's cool because I'm sure it opens up doors now, like your interest in acting and getting back into it. So I'm sure this is going to open up some wild doors for you.
Yeah, I hope so, man. Yeah, just taking it day by day. But yeah,
that's so crazy. All right, so before, I want to go back to kind of how all this started with you in general and your youth. And I think I'll preface at the top of before we have the intro start, I'll preface that this may have some spoilers in it, because I want to get into it because I feel like it's just so interesting that all the dynamics from the show. Yeah. But getting on, you mentioned in the show that you do augmented reality. Do you do like some sort of tech related
job?
job?
So I used to do VR, some stuff there, but now I have a startup, right? So we have software that we're just trying to grow. It's for restaurants and small businesses. Oh, cool. So yeah, that's a lot about growth and just finding, funding and stuff. So,
that's interesting.
Yeah.
So that was like your job right before this show? Wait, is that what you've been doing?
Yeah. I mean, I've always had my hand in so many things and stuff. So yeah.
So
I've always been in this? Yeah.
What was it like for you growing up? Like, where are you from? Like, explain, walk me through this.
So yeah, I'm from the Bay Area. What up, Warriors? So I'm from North, and my childhood was amazing, man. It was just so like peaceful and carefree and relaxed. I would always, I was like a sports guy. I played a lot of sports.
Did you?
Grew up in a tech household. My parents are software engineers.
Really?
Yeah. So I was.
What were they doing? Like, I guess I don't know that world too well.
Sure. Yeah,
and I know the Bay is kind of like the spot.
Yeah, for sure.
that, right?
Yeah. So I mean, basically like project management with software, coding, programming, and then my dad has a company himself. So,
cool.
Yeah, he's been doing stuff there. So yeah, my mom and dad just been in the IT world for.
Right. So like, coming up in that, like my dad was a cop and my mom was a nurse. So I always learned a lot about health, and I always learned a lot about what dumb mistakes people make.
Yeah.
What was some of the things that you were learning from your family at that time? Like, were you interested in coding or trying to get involved in any of that at a young age, just from the influence?
Yeah, that's a good question. You know what I learned from them? A great lesson is, I think in life people tend to think you can only do one thing or the other. But what they told me is you can do anything you want. You can always do so many things, right? And like they were saying, for me just to shoot, like go for it all, right? So I always felt great like that, and it was great because they were such like great analytical thinkers, and they're, you know what I mean, and they're amazing parents. But so I feel like I learned a lot, like just how to analyze situations from them, and just being well versed in the tech side has helped me with all these other stuff I'm doing.
Yeah.
Because having that that knowledge just as a good complement to all this creative stuff.
Right. What kind of sports were you into?
Well, when I was younger, I played like baseball for 10 years.
Damn.
Yeah, but no, it was like the little league stuff, nothing like crazy. As soon as like kids started going puberty, I was like, I'm out. I played tennis a lot, so that was like middle school and then high school varsity and stuff.
Damn.
Yeah.
Nice.
Captain, I got to captain.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Is that like the top level of tennis? Is that like what?
Yeah, varsity tennis. There's varsity tennis and junior varsity.
What's the role of a captain? I have no idea.
I mean, basically, you're just trying to I don't know, like hype them up and then just represent them when we're at our tennis matches.
Right.
Like, just introducing people and just the heads.
So were you like kind of a more outspoken, positive person to be around? Like that would be something that the coach would see in you to rely on you to like get the team amped up.
Yeah, man, because there were like 3 other coaches on varsity, so there were 4 of us. But yeah, that was what they wanted for us, just to be a good positive role model and just help the other kids if they're like struggling and stuff.
Right. So when's the season of tennis? Is that in the summer?
No. So this was in high school, so it was spring.
Okay, got it.
Spring.
It's a spring sport. Interesting.
Sports,
That's crazy.
It's sick, man.
Yeah, it's dope. I played tennis one time in gym and
oh shit, nice.
not that good.
Oh yeah, I feel it.
But I should try again. I also do you do racquetball?
I played a little in PE. That gets intense.
It can hurt. Like you can
if
get
you hit
smoked.
yourself, yeah.
But that's not like rule wise. It's not similar. But was that ever like an interest to you, like playing those types of games?
No, I mean I played here or there with like friends in college and like. But I mean, yeah, my interest lied in tennis.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
We got to interview. I just did a documentary. Interviewed Maria Sharapova.
That's sick.
It was really cool, and I was just like, "Holy, she's so tall."
Wow. Oh yeah.
So tall.
Great athlete.
Insane,
Great athlete.
right?
Yeah.
Insane. So you get into high school. You're playing sports. Your jobs. Are you doing any like what kind of jobs were you doing at the time for work? Were you doing any?
I mean, in high school, I was working at a farmer's market, so
Yeah.
I was like, helping people like shelve items and try to sell like merchandise to people. I was also like building some websites on the side.
Really?
Yeah, just basic HTML, CSS, and stuff, and
Totally.
working on them for people. And yeah, I was just focused. I was doing a lot of stuff in high school, so I was like, I had my little organization, my club. I was president of the Indian club. So
Nice.
That was sick.
Really?
I did a lot of speech and debate in high school.
Did you?
Yeah, that was great. So I had a lot of stuff I was doing there.
Is that tough to do speech and debate? Like I feel like that's nerve wracking.
It is at first, but then you get used to it, and
Right.
you're just like it's chilling,
And so you were captain, and you were there's so many accolades that you had.
No, man. Oh yeah, I tried to. Yeah, I just tried to go for it all.
Do you feel like because later on you end up saying that you like ran for governor or something?
Yeah, I did. Yes.
Because was that the energy that you were getting in high school from like doing these debates and things like that?
Yeah,
got a
I just
passion?
had so much fun doing all this crazy stuff. So I was
Yeah.
like, I don't know. I felt like I could help California with my experience, and I thought it'd be a great experience to run.
It's so crazy.
I could do it, so why not?
Right.
So I was
Yeah.
like, hell yeah.
That's so nuts. So when you get out of high school, what kind of like direction are you looking at? Like, did you have your heart set on a career path? Was there anything that you were interested? Was it immediately like I want to go to LA and try acting, or was it the governor stuff first?
I think it was everything, man. I just wanted to go to school and get a good foundation of like education and have that college life.
Yeah.
But I always at the back of my head knew something was gonna happen, or try to happen. I mean, at least go for something.
Right.
But yeah, so I think it was the college first, and then all this other stuff like on the side.
What school did you end up going to?
UCLA.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
so you
yeah.
came down here for school.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So
Yeah.
For what was the major?
My major was economics, and then my minor was film.
Nice.
Yeah.
So the film, was that when that kind of sparked, was like getting more involved in the film scene through your minor?
Yeah, I mean a little bit. I got to see a lot of different areas of the film industry, but I just love movies, man.
Right.
Like I love going to the theater and stuff. So.
What were like some of your influences from film early on?
Oh, like movies or
yeah, movies.
Man, I like Donnie Darko. That was a great movie.
The best.
Oh, I love that movie.
I literally think I just said what is it, 28 days, 16 hours, 42
wow.
seconds.
Yeah.
My friend's band used that as like the intro to their album, and it was
That's
like
sick, man.
I love that movie.
I find
man.
the scene where he's at the auditorium and he like gives that speech to the teacher
Yeah.
was the funniest thing.
It's so
in my
good,
life.
dude. That movie is
Yeah.
shit.
I like
think
that movie.
It was great.
It was sick.
So you were into like kind of more of an indie, like it had like a cinematic like piece element to it.
Yeah, man. So I'm a big fan of like the indie dark films, like
Sure.
American Beauty, American Psycho. I really like.
Crazy.
Singing in the Rain. I like those old Hollywood movies.
Right.
Some movies about Hollywood are pretty sick.
Yeah. Was that like inspiration when you came here? Like, what was it like coming to? I guess you living in California may have been easier for you guys to
Yeah.
do like family trips down here. Did you ever do that at a young age? Or when was the first time you ever came to Hollywood?
I don't even remember. I know I came younger when I was really young
You
with my
did?
parents, but yeah, I didn't come to Hollywood much until I came to school here.
So what was that like, kind of checking into Hollywood like for the first time
I mean,
coming?
yeah, it was crazy, man.
Was it?
It was really cool, but you know, I was in UCLA, so a lot of it was just focused on studies and stuff because I was so busy with school and I just wanted to have that life. But yeah, it was really nice, man.
What kind of like extra activities would you do during college? Like were you going out all the time? Or were you socializing a ton? Like you
Yeah.
seem super social,
Oh,
obviously.
thanks, man.
You got second place for being social, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. No, man, I like ran. I was kind of involved in the student government a little bit. I was like in our residential leadership stuff. I was doing some like, we had like laser tag like club stuff.
What?
Yeah, and then I was doing a lot of stuff with the film stuff over here, and yeah, just a little bit of everything.
It sounds like you tapped into what school has to offer. Like I think a lot of people go to college and like they just do the bare minimum, like hit their classes and then try to go to do whatever they want outside of it. But
Yeah.
like, and I didn't, honestly, when I went to college, I didn't understand that all these, there was like one club, it was a film club, but I didn't even realize that there was all kinds of other clubs that my college offered.
man.
What would be advice for people that are in college right now that are kind of like looking for experience or want to get their hands on with certain things?
I mean, I would just do something. Something's better than nothing.
Right.
You go to the club fairs. There's a lot of different clubs, and just branch out and just try stuff. You know.
Yeah.
And then yeah, I would just say try some. I think trying something is better than just doing nothing.
Did you ever try anything that you ended up realizing you just did not like at all?
Oh, that's a good question. In college,
Yeah.
yeah, you know, there was this wine club. They were really cool people, but like they were all into dance, and I wasn't really into dancing. I thought we got to eat a lot of Hawaiian food because I love Hawaiian food, but it was into dancing. So I was like, all right, this is great, guys, but I'm not a dancer, so
They pieced out.
Yeah.
A Hawaiian club? That's so tight.
yeah,
No?
it was sick, man. That was sick.
Did they import any pineapples?
I don't know because I wasn't there.
You just
long
bailed
enough.
right away.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Man, if you had seen it through, though, maybe dancing was just the first part of it.
Yeah, maybe, man.
I just went to
Maybe.
Hawaii. And
Oh, what
have you been?
Yeah, I've been to
Kauai?
Oh yeah, I've been to Oahu and Maui
Which one do you like
and
better?
Big Island.
Out of all those, which one do you prefer?
Oahu, man.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why?
I just love the downtown. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never been until just
Sure.
going. I literally just
Did
got
you like
back.
Kauai?
Yeah, dude, it's awesome.
Yeah,
Just
Kauai's
dry. It's.
sick.
I think you would like it because it's that whole relaxation vibe and everything is just like kind of flowing super
Yeah.
slow.
Oh,
and
that's sick, man.
oh my god, it was from LA to that. It was
Yeah.
mint.
Damn.
When did the governor situation happen? When did you run for that?
Yeah, that happened in 2018. So.
Oh shit.
January 2018 to June 2018 was really when I went through it.
When were you finished with college?
June 2017.
Okay, right. So you finished school.
Yeah.
Before that happens, what's happening in between running and getting
Yeah, man, I was
graduating?
just working and stuff and all these different things like jobs and stuff and
In the film like industry, like you were getting jobs that way, or what kind of jobs?
No. I was back in the Bay Area, so this is like my software company and
Oh,
just
okay.
other stuff like yeah, so different jobs here and there, and yeah, I was doing some acting stuff like some short films and indie projects in the meantime.
In the Bay.
In the Bay, yeah.
But how do you just start a software company? Like,
Yeah, I mean, no. It was like our co-founders and stuff. Like the software was just so powerful, and we thought it would be. We all have different backgrounds and stuff. It's just such a great. We just thought there was a need with the companies and stuff.
right?
And we had the tech background, we had the business background, we knew the right people.
Yeah.
So we thought it was a great fit.
So what is the software? Like, what does this software do? And then what would be your role as in the company? Like, what was your role?
Yeah. So I mean, our software is enterprise, so we do anything that an enterprise needs. Right?
Oh.
So like all the various stuff, like management and just controls and just oversight, right, of the whole company.
So like team management.
And like payroll and stuff like that.
Got it.
My job now, it's just strategy, just trying to grow the company, connect us with VCs and stuff, and take
Right.
us to the next stage. Yeah.
So how many people are involved in that company? Do you have like a couple partners or?
Yeah. We have a few partners, and then we have a few good customers. Yeah.
Is it now having explored current, like you started this and that, so you've been doing that the last 2-3 years?
Yeah, it's been an ongoing project. Yeah, about 3 years. 4 years.
With the new chain of events that you've had, do you feel like that's still going to be an element of what you do moving forward, or is that?
Yeah, man, I think that'll always be a part of me. So that'll be there, and then just the acting stuff, and
Right.
I think I always just like to do everything.
I feel you.
I'll always do everything.
So anything that's fun. It's like
Yeah.
diving into that.
It could be a bad move because your hands are in so many pockets. But
Yeah.
for me, I like the pockets. So
Right. So what were some of the shorts that you would do when you were living in the Bay? Like what were some of the projects you were putting together? Were you directing or were you just acting?
No, I was just acting in them. I mean, there were a lot of student films. So like dark, lighthearted stuff. Oh, I don't know. That's kind of a contradiction. But
Right.
Yeah. But like, I mean, there were student projects. One was this one. It was it was like a horror, like a short horror thing where like I played like a husband and there was a wife and then we had a kid, and like the kid I don't know, like I don't even remember. It was like the babysitter was like crazy, and he put us all in a washer and we died.
What?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Like a washer dryer?
Yeah, a washer dryer.
All three of you in it?
Yeah, we died.
Are those on the internet?
They're on. I think they're on YouTube. I haven't seen them in quite a while.
Oh my god, it'd be so funny to watch.
Yeah, it would, man.
So when you did it, was it how would you be found as an actor? Was it friends that were like shooting them, or were you?
No, I just went on these sites and found it myself.
As like a casting site or something like
casting sites,
that.
yeah.
So you were like kind of being super serious about it. You wanted to kind of explore this.
Yeah, on the side stuff. Yeah. Of course, I've always wanted to do it.
Right.
Just trying to figure out the best way to go for it.
So getting that practice, what were some of the things you were walking away with? I know they're student films, so those guys are all learning as they're creating, and you're learning as you test this out. Like you're acting. This is some of the first few times you're acting. What were some of the things you were learning at that time?
I was just learning the whole set, like how the whole set works and stuff. And how the whole call schedule works, and like when you're acting and stuff, how to like be a certain how to put less of your personality in it and more into a character. Yeah. And then just preparing for a role, so like analyzing the stuff and seeing how to like actually perform.
Is that hard to do?
Yeah, for sure.
Is it?
Yeah.
What do you like? What's something that you could do? Like if you had to play, you're a dad and you're about to get smoked by the babysitter. Like how do you try to first? You're not a father right now, are you?
Oh no.
You have no kids.
No way.
So how do you how do you? What would be like a technique that you might like look to try to adapt to that person?
Yeah, I mean, I just try. Well, I guess everyone did this, but I like it also. I just take a page and I write like a whole backstory for them. So I make up a backstory.
Oh, that's cool.
And then I just read it and like just take it in, and then I'm like, I know all these details about him, so I can really relate to him a lot more.
Right.
So that's one thing I do.
No, that's a great piece of advice.
I think people could do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's super helpful because I think a lot of the times when they're doing story development, like that's usually like you spend so much time developing parts of the story that will literally never make it on the screen.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
But there's you want to know all that stuff. I feel like it's cool that as you're acting, you're also finding this interest in politics.
Yeah, man. Oh, I've always been a huge fan. Yeah.
Have you? So what? Like, explain that to me. Like when you decided to run.
Yeah.
What was the reason? Why?
Yeah. I mean,
and how old were you? You were
22.
22.
Yeah,
what the hell?
yeah.
All right. Who were your how old was your competition?
40s, 50s, 60s.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
30s, little 30s.
So what got you into politics in the first place?
I mean, yeah, man. I just always thought like politics is such a good avenue to help bring so much change to so many people, right, in a positive way. My thing with running is I just thought I could bring a lot of value with my experiences.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of platforms I thought that could benefit everyone in California. And I thought we had we had the two big industries, Hollywood and Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
And there were better ways to utilize them. And man, I just thought I could help a lot, and I thought it might be a good message I could show that like if a young kid could run, then all these different types of people can run for office also.
Right.
And just encourage that, even if you don't fit the mold of a typical candidate, you could run.
Right. So what were some of your goals that you were like outspoken about? Like,
oh yeah, I mean, one of the big things was like with healthcare. I thought since we are collecting healthcare data right through like patients in hospitals, I thought in California what a great thing would be is we collect all the healthcare data, and consented of course by the individuals. We take the healthcare data and we put it in a pool, and we give it to all our tech companies here who are using AI. So they use the artificial intelligence on healthcare, and based on that AI, we can predict, based on their previous health records, what their future health records are going to be.
Wow.
So instead of just going into a checkup and seeing what happened to you now, the doctor could be like, oh, in 10 years, you have a 92% chance of getting this. So now we can take these measures to get rid of that.
That's such a... Okay.
So I think that would be really interesting.
That is amazing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously, there's some holes in it. We don't know if the AI is that capable yet, and we don't know if it would. It's such new territory, but I think it could be a good idea.
So when you'd pitch that stuff, were you guys doing live debates?
Yeah, there were debates. I mean, a lot of debates I was trying to crash, man.
What do you mean?
I would go to the debate, right, the big ones with all the candidates, and I'd go outside and I'd just try to walk in.
But so if you're running, how do you get into? You have
to qualify.
You have to qualify.
And I didn't qualify because you need either fundraising or you need a certain polling.
Right.
One debate, I literally didn't get called, so I went to the front row and I just rose my hand at the end. And
just ask questions?
I was like, please, can you let me come up? I asked a question and then she's like, all right, fine, you can come up. And I gave a speech at the end.
Did they know who you were? Did anyone know who you were? I mean, how many people do run for like that position?
Like 27 to 30-ish.
Total?
Yeah, so yeah.
Wow, and then how many people qualify? I'm obviously the worst at politics.
I think the big ones, there were like 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
So by that point, it's down to 6, and then you're just trying to post up and get in there.
Yeah, so there were like 20 of us that were just trying to like do different stuff, and like the 6 main ones, yeah.
So did she let you on stage, and what happened?
Oh yeah, she let me on stage, and I got to give a little speech at the end, so that was nice.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was sick, man.
I would love to hear, it's so interesting from your standpoint, being like this youthful person who has an interest in the current technology and what's happening. Like, I don't think, a 40, 50-year-old person at this point is too in tune with what's happening with AI and all this development in tech.
For sure.
I would imagine. And like to hear that being pitched, I would have loved to hear what people would say in response to that.
Yeah, man, it's very new stuff, and I think it could be a compelling piece.
That's so crazy. So did it generate like buzz? Were people talking about this 22-year-old kids running for?
Yeah, I mean, there were a good amount of buzz around it. India picked it up, so like the biggest paper in India did it, and so like 400 articles covered me.
Wow.
So that was really sick, man. And yeah, people were there was a fair amount that was covering. It was nice, man.
So what did that feel like for you? It's like obviously is in this peak interest into you, and you have a great cause that you're fighting for.
Yeah.
But you didn't make the cut, I guess. But they're still doing the press on you, right?
Yeah, man. So, this was right towards the end and a little bit after. I mean, it felt good. It just felt like, at least I tried. I did my best.
Yeah, of course.
People are recognizing that effort. So,
is that something that you planned to run again at some point?
Yeah, definitely. I want to run again.
You still would now?
100%. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm just waiting for the right opportunity, and like given like all the pieces are there, I want to run again. Yeah.
Man, it does seem so hard to do with people that have this intense funding behind them.
Yeah, especially in California, it's a big fundraising state.
Right. So you didn't do any fundraising for yours, or did you start?
No, I didn't fundraise for mine. Yeah.
Wow, that's so crazy. So okay, so that you lost.
Yeah, yeah, I'm not the governor.
Where do you go next? Like you were up in the Bay when you ran.
Yeah. So I was in the Bay then.
And then, is this around like what happens after this for you in your story?
Nothing, man. I was doing work and stuff and doing some of the acting stuff, and then I applied for the show.
Yeah.
And this took about like 6 months of application, audition, and then we did it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you were just working on your tech, acting on the side, just hopping on student projects still, or did you get any? Sure. Did you have any like medium or big size roles?
I mean, there was like indie stuff, like low indie stuff, and yeah, it was there. So
right. Okay. So how does one find the opportunity to apply for a show on Netflix?
Yeah, that's a good question, man. So my friend actually saw that they were doing like a Facebook ad for it.
Okay.
To apply to the Circle, and he knows how much I love competition shows. He shared it with me, and I was like, wow, this is really sick. The concept is really cool.
They gave you the backstory or like the initial concept?
Yeah, they did. Like, and there was a UK adaptation, so I saw a little bit of that.
Oh, okay.
I was like, this is really sick, man. So I applied, and I went through the process, and I was like, yeah.
And I was like, yeah. But what did you say in your application? Like, how do you sell yourself? Because it's
for sure.
Did you submit videos or anything?
Yeah, so I submitted a 1-minute video. For me, my thing was I'm the anti-social media person, so I'm gonna come in there and I wasn't gonna catfish, I wasn't gonna flirt, I wasn't gonna try to hype people up. I would just be myself, and I said that would be the key to making good relationships, and then because of that, I'll get to the end and win the game. That was my whole thing.
Did they tell you what the rules were? Like they explained in the brief like what these rules are in the show?
Oh, they did for sure. And
Okay.
there was previous versions and stuff, so you could kind of know.
Right.
But it is the first season, so in a sense we were figuring it out as it went along.
Yeah, I'm sure they added new things by the time you got to it.
There were some iterations that were different. Yeah.
Right. Man, that's so interesting. Like from someone who watches like Survivor and all these things, you start developing tactics like, man, if they put me on that island, you know what I mean? Like this is how I would do it. Like you're taking that into this Netflix show.
100%.
Did you know it was for Netflix at the time?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I think they had the Netflix banner on the application.
It's so interesting that that's blasted out. I feel like it's like people are so afraid of spoilers and things that you know what I mean, like announcing prematurely announcing stuff that they just this is happening. I had no idea. I didn't know that's how it
yeah. Well, I mean, for casting they applied, right? They released it, so that casting happened, and then you're right, man. There was like a 5-month gap between the show. We filmed it, so it was cool that there were no spoilers or anything got leaked or anything.
So how long from the period you submit your application till you hear from them that they're interested in you? When's the first?
Probably 2 weeks, but there were so many stages after that then.
Is that in person stages, or are you on the call? Are you on the phone?
Mix.
It's mixed.
Calls and then Skypes and then in person, and then you're going to the hotels and stuff. So
what's this feel like for you? Like, is there anxiety to that? Like, obviously you want to be on the show.
Yeah, there's a lot of anxiety because there's a lot on the stake. It feels like
Because they end up picking how many people to start with? 7?
8.
Eight
so
people.
8 people. Yeah. So there's only limited spots, right? So you're fighting for your life to get on these shows, and it just sucks because as you go on the longer stages and stuff, it gets more personal to you and you feel more connected to it and you're getting more hyped.
Right.
So as you get closer and closer, it's like, so I'd hate to be at the end and then
Yeah, exactly. Like I feel like what was some of the tactics that you took when you're talking to these people on Skype? Are you just being because your whole thing on the show is like, just be yourself. Like I want to just be 100% genuine and make sure I'm me. Like, is that the same thing when you're talking to these people? Are you trying to oversell it? Like,
no, I wasn't trying to sell it. I mean, I was just trying to explain to them why I was doing that and the strategy of why it would work. And then also, I mean, it's just about you only get a limited time to sell yourself, so it is all about making the big points first.
Right.
So I was also thinking like, I know what I'm gonna say. This is me, but also just prioritizing how I'm gonna say stuff.
Right. Did they find it? Did they ever say it was interesting to them that you didn't care about social media that much? Like that you were like kind of anti?
Yeah, I think they thought it was really interesting, and I think that's why it works. It was just such a great ensemble of us from different people, different walks of life. So it was like,
okay, so cool. They say it's happening.
Yeah.
You find out that you made the top 8, which is a victory, right? That's pretty nice.
That was dope.
What's like? Is your family going nuts about this? Like, did you tell anyone?
Well, so I knew I was getting flown out there, right? But they didn't tell us if I was on or if I was going in, right? When I was going in. So when I was there, I, we did these videos and stuff, met with them, and then I got called, and then I got, I was put in the first 8, and then I told my parents over the phone, like, I'm going in pretty soon, and they were so stoked, and I was stoked also.
So when they, where was it shot at?
Manchester.
Okay, so you fly to Manchester, and you're talking about like they're shooting like the videos where you guys are all like on the blues and the whites. You're shooting all these like profile shots. Sure. So you're doing all these and you still don't know technically if you made it.
I'm not really sure how that works and stuff.
Yeah.
But,
You just assume that there's a good shot that you're probably going to end up, they're shooting these profiles on you and then maybe you'll end up in there.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I just knew I got to do my best.
Right. Yeah. It's cool because it's like, I don't know. It's funny when you watch these things because it's like, this is what people are going to know about you, right? Like these profiles.
Yeah, man.
But you don't even know if how the show's gonna go. You don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's so many variables, especially it's a new show.
Yeah.
Because there's so much content on Netflix. You don't know if it's gonna be drowned out.
Right.
That's what, so it's very interesting in that sense.
Were they hyping it up that this was gonna be I mean, I don't know if they would have could have predicted that it was gonna do so well.
No, I think everyone was really excited about the concept. Like Netflix was really like they were invested in it.
Yeah.
The production company loved it. I think everyone a part of it just knew like this could be a cultural shift in like.
Right.
Television, and I think everyone was really excited for it.
Man, it's so crazy, dude. What a shot in the dark.
Yeah, what a trip.
So for people who are fans of this, you know that you're in this apartment building.
Yeah.
Each person has their own apartment room, filled with cameras. There's cameras everywhere and TVs everywhere. That's like the device that everyone uses to chat with each other. You move into this apartment complex. Is it weird getting used to being in a room that's just filming you the whole time?
Honestly, man, it wasn't. I got so used to it so quickly.
Yeah.
I think the mind adjusts really quickly to new things.
Right.
So for me, it was like, I after the first day, I'm like, I got this. I actually really digged it. So I was like, this is sick.
Because how long did you have to actually stay there? It was like a total of a week or something?
Shooting was like 14 days from the beginning to end since I was in there.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. So before you ever met anybody in person, how many days had passed where you were just by yourself? Yo, I just want to give a big shout out to everybody that pulled up on the most recent Black with No Cream live stream featuring Kavika Banis, a VFX superstar. He's won 2 VMAs and he graced us with his presence. Kavika has worked with some of the biggest names in the world, and in this stream we broke down the most important fundamental skills a videographer needs to learn first when entering the visual effects world, the power of creating spec work to showcase your talents as a creator, and lastly, the best way to go about building clients as a VFX artist. Our attendees were able to join us via video chat and ask their specific questions directly to Kavika. And they asked some amazing questions. If you missed the stream and you want to check out the 1.5 hour long replay, click the link in our description below and you'll get instant access as soon as you register. All right, now back to the podcast.
That's a good question. I don't know, maybe 10-ish? But
Wow.
producers are always coming in. They're so great. So
Right.
people are always coming in to check up on us.
So you have some sort of interaction.
Yeah, some interaction.
Someone's got to bring in food and like
Yeah.
whatever. I always was interested in that as I was watching it, because you're kind of curious, like, is there, you know, obviously in the reality world, there's so much stuff that's scripted and it becomes
Sure.
like that. And that's why most people either love or hate that type of stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
When it comes to Survivor and things like that, it feels more like they're really capturing, they may poke and provoke at certain things, but it feels pretty raw. Was this, and I don't know if you can tell this,
Yeah.
was this, did they try to help set certain things up or ask questions to like get you to, because you guys would, it was funny how they edited it together. It's so brilliant, but like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff where you guys are just like, you're answering something out loud that we all are thinking.
Oh,
Does that make
yeah,
sense?
yeah.
And it's almost like, did someone just ask them that question?
Yeah. No, I mean, I think so for the most part, they really captured the pureness of us all.
Yeah.
So they did a great job at that. And like, yeah.
So it wasn't very like common when someone's just walking in like, hey, could we get you just talking about like what it'd be like if this person got voted off tomorrow? Like, what are your feelings like that? Do people provoke that at all?
Not really. Nah,
That's
I don't
crazy.
think so. I mean, you know, there's voices in the sky and stuff. Right?
Yeah.
So you're talking to someone all the time. So sometimes they would ask, but mostly it was feeding off of what you're saying, not
Right.
really that other way around.
That's so crazy
Yeah.
that you just could like start talking to
Yeah,
somebody.
it's nice, man. It's nice.
Was the device, the tablet thing,
Yeah.
was it as seamless as it was on TV? Like you really just talk at it and pick out something and someone's just like making it happen?
Yeah, someone types it out.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, it was sick.
Yeah, I was like, what? Like, because
Yeah.
then you guys would be describing emojis and they're finding the exact one. I'm like,
Yeah,
what?
it's so
like,
funny,
what a
man.
wild
Yeah.
pick. So, okay, you get on the show. Your strategy out the gate is what?
You know, just no extra fluff. Just say the part, you know, the pure part of me and just like everything about me. And then, yeah, I thought that would make connections. So in my bio, I would put a lot about myself. I put a good picture of me that I thought represented me well. And then, yeah, also make some alliances with some good ride or dies that I was really connecting with.
Right.
And then see how it goes.
You're limited on what you're allowed to put, like to share, right? So you get like, two pictures that you're able to post of
Yeah,
yourself.
so you are limited, yeah.
And that's coming from a pile of photos that you guys all probably submitted or something?
Yeah,
Like these
from
are like our favorite photos.
Yeah, for sure.
So you have to think, what is this person how are they going to react to me posting? Like Sammy ends up posting that photo where she's like kind of like chilling out with her swimsuit or something. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah.
And then of course that could be like one for the guys to be like, damn, and like that could start
Yeah,
provoking
for
like
sure,
people to
yeah.
hit on her or something. So what were the photos that you chose? Like why did you choose those photos?
So the first profile picture I did, it was like my mom and me were in Rome and stuff. It was just a close-up of me. I really liked it because it was like my smile and it was natural, and I thought that was like a good representation of me.
Right.
I got 8th place, so obviously that didn't work too well.
Right.
But and then the next one I did one of like me at prom a while ago, and I was like, it was like a younger version of me, like so it showed like the cute and adorable side of me.
Right.
So I thought that would help out, show that other part of me. And then the next photo was me with my UCLA sash, so people could see the student part of me.
Right.
Like, you know, like the academic side.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think those were all the 3 photos I picked.
Yeah, I think you only end up getting 3.
So
but
those, yeah.
it's funny watching people's reactions. Like as everyone gets to
Yeah,
see what
for
everyone
sure.
chose. Everyone's like,
Yeah.
of course you graduated with, like, you know what I mean? Of course
Oh,
you did,
yeah,
like
yeah.
they see you were traveling the
Yeah,
world or something.
yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's funny how everyone just, they couldn't find something wrong about you.
Oh, yeah.
Does that make sense? Or to the
Yeah.
point where they may think that you're a catfish because they're
Yeah.
like, this person's like too nice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure, man. There's a lot of paranoia in that circle, yeah.
What, you got 8th place in the first round?
Yes.
Which is the last place?
Yeah.
but for some reason you were able to stay on.
Yeah, because the top 2 influencers pick who goes.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So how's that feel? Like I said, to take it to real life, you're on MySpace or something, and someone drops you down to like the 8th. You're just,
oh man.
Yeah. Does that actually create, in that scenario, did it create any like sort of like, there's a creative depression or not a creative depression, but like an actual depression that can come with social anxiety?
Yeah, man. No, I felt so bad because on one hand, I'm like, oh my God, I'm going home. Like, cause I got 8th place. The influencers are going to send me home. I'm like, damn, I put so much of myself into this and like now I'm getting 8th place. So it feels sad and bad. And then part of me is like, this is a once in a lifetime thing. I'm going to be the novelty act that goes home on night 1.
Right.
Told my parents, the family, so stoked. I'm going out for night 1. Shit, I was like, damn, dude, this is a nightmare. And it all happened on the first day. But yeah, man, it was pretty bad, rough, that shit. Yeah,
was it?
Yeah, it was rough.
But how long do you have to kind of sit on knowing that you're in 8th place? You find out you're in 8th place and then they have to, so for those who don't know, you like the 2 people that are on the top get to go like have a meal or something, which low key looked like the meals kept getting worse.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like I remember like the first one was like a steak or something, and then slowly it became like cheese and.
Yeah, I was up there so much. It was a lot like it was drinks and hors d'oeuvres, like appetizers.
So you were good.
I liked it. Yeah, it was killer.
So you get to go up to this room basically and communicate with the other person who got on the top, and not like in person, just through the same platform.
Yeah, for sure.
So when you realize you're about to you're like, damn, I might lose this or whatever.
Yeah.
How much time passes before they tell you who's staying and who's going?
Oh I don't remember, but I think it was 2 hours, something like that.
So what were you doing?
I was just telling everyone in the at-risk chat, I'm going home. Best of luck with everything. All love for you guys. I was just saying to myself like, oh, this is sucks. I can't believe I'm the one who's going first, because I always would look at those and I'd be like, oh no, this first person out, and I'm gonna become that.
Right, and it surprisingly ended up making that the person that ended up leaving was this a girl that like is a model.
Yeah,
and she tried to show that she was a model, and then everyone was like, nah.
Yeah.
Which is so funny because then you get a chance to like meet someone in real life, right? Like if you get kicked off, you get to go meet someone in real life. Yeah. What was it like running? Did anyone ever come in to meet you?
I'm the only one in the finals who no one visited.
No one visited.
No one visited yet.
That's interesting.
It is, yeah.
Who, if you would have got nixed, I'm sure you thought about this in the first round. Who would you have gone to meet?
In the first round?
Yeah.
Oh, I would have went to see Joey then. Because in the at-risk chat, they didn't show it. My first interaction with Joey was actually in that at-risk chat.
Was it?
When I was saying I'm going home, adios, see ya, he's the one who was like there for me in that at-risk chat.
Really?
So I was like, oh, that's really nice of him. So I probably would have seen him.
Yeah, you'd be like, all right, I'm going to go make a real friend.
But then who knows? If I got sent home based on the message of the influencers, maybe I would have seen one of them.
Right, because you're kind of like,
I'm like
wondering.
What? Really? Like, come on, I was no threat.
Yeah, that's so interesting.
So it depends on what that message was or who it asked me.
When you get into a position, it's so interesting. Like you were up in the influencer room, with the top room that you can never go to several times. Four times out of like six. That's tight.
Oh, thanks.
That's pretty dope. Sure. So you go up to that room. What is it? The stress, because it progressively gets more intense of like the rules. Man. Before it'd just be like pick one, and then sometimes it's like someone's got to pick somebody in real life or something. Like there's so many different elements and layers. Yeah. What was the stress level for you during those moments, like trying to decide?
It was stressful. It was just, I felt bad because I kept having to send people home back to back.
Yeah.
So I just felt terrible that I'm the one ending these people's journey in this circle so many times.
The conversations usually are like pretty quick, where you guys kind of talk about each person real quick. How long would you actually spend trying to decide? Like,
I think about like 15 to 30 minutes.
Really?
Pros and cons about each person.
Yeah.
And then we trying to negotiate and decide whose turn it is to dip.
When you guys, what do you eat?
I eat a lot of PBJ.
Yeah, you always made PBJs for people. Yeah, that's pretty disappointing.
I know, right? But then I ate them, so it's chilling. I made a lot of chicken tacos. I learned how to make chicken tacos in there.
Chicken tacos?
They were pretty sick. Yeah.
So did you have like a rider or something that people could like, you submit and they bring in chicken tacos, or were they just giving you guys?
No, they gave like chicken and lettuce and like tortilla wraps, and then I would cook it on the stove,
But like someone else would make something else. Like, did you have an option? Did you get to at least choose like, this is the type of food I'm into, and then they'd bring that type of stuff?
Yeah, they would bring frozen meals also and stuff, and sometimes they would give us like pizza or stuff like that.
And then the dishwasher was you had to hand wash things, huh? Was it a hand wash?
Yeah, hand wash. Yeah.
Right, because it's like there's so much stuff that I feel like there's so much time that passes that we don't get to see on the show. Like, what would be some of the things you do, or were you always trying to play to the game, even on the stuff we don't see?
Yeah,
Is that
I was enthralled in the game a lot, so I was always focusing about my position in the game and my connections with people.
Yeah.
And then I was also playing a lot of ping pong against the wall. I was walking a lot. I was just trying to keep active and shit.
Yeah, because even though you're on a game, is there a certain point where do you get bored at all? Like where you're like, oh my God.
I was personally never bored.
Really?
I was so into the game. I was having the time of my life.
I'm assuming you've become close friends with everyone else that was on the cast.
Yeah, the cast is so close now and stuff. We have an Instagram chat, so we're always chatting and stuff.
Did anyone ever have you guys talked about that? Like, did anyone else go through that? Or is everyone so in tune with the game and just like,
I don't know, because I haven't seen all of them yet, but I'm sure, I don't know. I actually don't know where some of the people are,
Right. Man, there's so many things that you just want to ask during the show. It's like so crazy, but I think overall the main takeaway like is the fact that you end up becoming interested in this. Like, first off, you played the game like a real athlete. Like, you looked at it, you were so strategic. People are always writing on notepads. Were you ever writing on your notepad thing that everyone always had?
I made some notes. I made graphs also and stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah.
What would your graphs kind of highlight?
They would just try to show the ranking. So I would write 8 people in a circle, all 8 of us, and I would assume each person is an influencer, but not just getting rid of one person. You can get rid of as many people as you want.
Right.
So so for each person who's influencer, I would draw a red arrow to the person they want to block. But say you want to block 4 people, I draw red arrows. You do that for each person who's influencer, and the person with the most red arrows to their name is the one going home, theoretically.
Damn.
And you can do that from least arrows to most arrows, and you should have a ranking board then.
So strategic. Like, what?
You know what I mean?
Like, that's the illest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Did anyone else have a system like that?
I don't think anyone had that.
Yeah, I think everyone's just like, oh, this person said this nice thing to me.
Yeah.
Would you take? I'm sure my memory's trash. Like, I would have to literally write down like, okay, this person had a good conversation with me. Like Rebecca becomes like your sister in crime, right? But this is a person that's not a woman.
Sure, yeah.
But that's what's crazy. At the end, you guys reveal this whole thing, and it's like crazy to watch. Because as you build alliances, you're shooting in the dark. You have no idea if Joey's really Joey. You know what I mean? Or any of them. You have no idea. For the people who were catfishes, aside from Rebecca, did you get a sense that they weren't who they said they were?
I knew Mercedes was a catfish when Antonio released his video, saying the person he visited was a catfish, so it made sense he visited her.
Right.
So she was the catfish. I had my suspicions about Alex at first.
Yeah.
Because he was always posting like shirtless photos.
Right.
A lot.
Yeah.
But then I didn't think he was a catfish at the end, but then he turned out to be a catfish at the end. Yeah, man, I was wrong about a lot of them. I didn't see the Ed thing coming. I didn't see the Rebecca thing coming. I didn't see...
So they didn't have red arrows?
Yeah, not from me.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It becomes so strategic, and you're trying to decide how to go about picking people, because at the same time, you don't want to be the reason someone goes and then you find out they're like honest. Who's the girl that was a catfish at first and then came forward and said she wasn't?
Sean was, yeah.
Like, everyone felt bad after that point, but then like your point was like, yo, you should just come in and been who you were.
Yeah.
And you could have made it. Like, what's your take on that?
Yeah, I mean, I felt really bad about that. Like, I totally see where Sean's coming from, and I really was positive for her. I just wish I could express more positivity for her.
Right.
So I totally got where she was coming from. Yeah.
While you're watching this back, because your premiere for this was how much in advance from everyone else? Did you guys do a premiere at all?
No, same day as you guys.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
January 1st, we saw that shit.
What did you do to watch it? Did you throw a party or something? Like,
we got pizzas and stuff, family. So we had like all these pizzas and. You know,
just you and your family. It wasn't like the cast and everything.
Because we're all in separate areas and stuff. So I just watched it. I would binge all 4 at midnight. Just it's pretty good.
Did everyone watch it with you? Like, your whole family? Did you guys just bang through all the episodes, or did you just watch the first episode and then everyone kind of?
No. So I originally watched it with my dad at midnight. We watched all 4, and then I watched it with my mom the next morning.
That's so tight.
Yeah, it was sick.
Clear the schedule. Just watch it.
Yeah.
What'd your family think? Like,
they loved it. They're so into it. They're like, this is such a great show, and you're so great in it.
I mean, how crazy is that their son ends up being like on this show and you ride it all the way to the end? You know what I mean? Like,
I know. Yeah, they were stoked about that.
They're probably texting all their friends and like trying to get everyone to tune in. Is it when you go home, like, and out and about, honestly, are people starting to like come up to you and recognize you from any of this?
Yeah,
Is that
good
all
amount.
happening?
Yeah, it happens like, quite a bit. Yeah.
Is it strange?
Yeah, it's strange, man. It's. I'm really like, I'm so grateful. I love it.
Yeah.
It is strange though. Bizarre.
How do you handle it? Like, what do you? I mean, obviously, you probably just enjoy the support. Like I see.
Yeah,
that.
I just try to talk to them, and then it's nice connecting with these people. But yeah, it's just strange thing we're in. So it's just taking it day by day, I think.
I think an interesting thing. I just talked to an artist that had like the song go super. It went crazy during the NBA Finals in 2016, right? And so he had this explosive career out of nowhere. Just took a wave. 26 million streams on this song and all this stuff, and LeBron James backing and all this stuff. After that, he had this interesting battle for himself where it was like this fame goes up and then you're back to the next thing, right? You're on to the next thing and you're trying to carve out your lane.
Yeah, man.
Do you feel like it's going to be that for you? Like having you just had something that was so successful and now you're on to the next chapter, and before that it was like I have my tech company, I'm kind of acting every once in a while, and now you have this massive explosion.
I think it is true. Like it is. We had this explosive thing, but I do think as time goes on, there's so much stuff happening. So, it is, I think, about taking the next step.
Yeah.
I totally see what you mean though.
What's your strategy like moving forward? Like, sorry, how do you plan? Because right now you want to ride the wave. Like you should ride the wave. Like I don't know what you do after this. I've never been on a Netflix show and had it blow up.
No, for sure.
But maybe I'm assuming there's like opportunities for you to like go places and do events or public speak and all these extra things, podcasts.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to do everything that comes my way, reach out to people I've always wanted to work with, trying to find a good team to work with and stuff.
Yeah. So what kind of team? Like building like a proper management and things like that? Yeah,
proper management, agents and stuff like that. Just people who can help me and that I really, can connect with.
Did Netflix like help you with anything like that? Do they like?
They helped with marketing us in the beginning. Yeah.
What, as far as like just tagging you guys in?
Yeah, and if people want to do articles on you guys while the show's running, they'd help coordinate.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's so wild.
Yeah, they were great.
Man, what a trip! Like, and also the winner gets $100,000.
Yeah.
Which was Joey.
Yes.
Shout out to your boy.
Hell yeah.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
What? No one else plays it. I've never understood. No one else is getting compensated for it outside of it, or is there like an acting compensation that you
so
get?
We get like a holding fee every day. So it was about like we get a holding fee every day.
Okay, cool. So you at least are making some money while you're fighting for it. That's cool. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't know how that would work.
Yeah. They give us the holding fee.
Right. Damn. Okay. And free living. Is it like? Would they try shooting? Did anything ever go wrong? Like, did some days they had to redo stuff? Was there ever technical errors, like where cameras would go down and you guys had to just kind of deal, like, you know what I mean?
No, it was pretty smooth, actually.
Was it?
Yeah, it was set from beginning to end. Pretty good. Yeah.
And all the cameras that are in the room, they're like able to move and they're following you guys?
Yeah, for sure. They got operators on that stuff.
Is that the weird, like, does it get weird after a bit?
I loved it. It was sick. Yeah, it was lit.
Was there a way to build, bonds with, like, the crew that was a part?
Oh, I did. Yeah, I built so many bonds. The cast, or the production, the crew, the execs, they're all amazing. And through those, like, you have like set producers who like watch you all day. I love them.
But with like the camera operators, would you develop a bond even though you're not really?
Yeah, sometimes when we were on the off days or like at nights at the end of the when we were done for the day, they'd come down or stuff. We'd shoot the stuff and it was killer.
So crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Was it like, okay, so you said you had off days. What would an off day entail?
We had one off day, so we just watched Friends all day and just had food, whatever food we wanted, and just kicked it.
But by yourself, you're just stuck.
Like our casting team, the welfare team was there, so they'd come hang out with us. We'd have like my own producers would come. We'd play games and stuff.
Really?
Yeah, like board games, like watching the game, playing cards, and just like.
And that would be in your room, or did they have like extra space in this building?
Yeah, it was in my room.
So the building, was there other people? Were there people living there?
No. So it was just us.
They rented out the whole space.
They built it.
They built that?
I'm pretty sure they built it, yeah.
What?
They built it, yeah.
I mean, it makes sense for all the wiring and technical aspect of it. Stuff. Wow. Yeah. So did it really feel like an apartment, or did it feel like a set? Like just like
no,
a
it
weird...
felt like an apartment.
It did? It felt homey?
Yeah, it felt homey, yeah.
Wow, that's so crazy.
Yeah.
Damn. So so you would have like these experiences. You could go upstairs and go to this like hot tub thing.
Yeah, as long as you coordinate it so no one else is there.
Right.
Yeah.
So did they allow you a certain amount of time to go, or you were just like, hey, can I just go upstairs today? And they'll be like, yeah.
Yeah, they prioritize it, and then you get like 5-10 minutes.
But a lot happened to conveniently be around the time when like the TV would pop off and be like alert, and then you guys would be like, oh, I'm in the pool. So would it be like they kind of scheduled it knowing like, oh, cool, we're gonna run this alert here. We'll have this person in the hot tub.
No, I don't think so. I think it was just reactive based on what we wanted to do, and then if stuff happened, they're like, oh, there's an alert.
What, man? The technicality behind it, and I think like because you never understand how big the crew is to make this type of thing come. How do you know what the size of the crew was?
I don't, but I know there's a lot of people involved.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. So now that it's come out, everyone's watching it all over the world, like everywhere. People are just enjoying the show, myself included, and my girlfriend Lauren. We both watched it. We were cheering for you, bro.
Oh, thanks.
What are some of the first things that start changing for you? Like obviously everyone's watching the show, so over time, then everyone realizes like, this guy's been talking about how, for me, it was, yo, does Shooby have an Instagram? Like, if he really means it, if he's really antisocial, he's not going to have one. That's like the illest strike against people. Then you go and you got like guaps of followers and you're verified and you're just like, yo, I love this. Like, so you end up turning into this person you love social media. So like, how did it feel like when you come out of it, you felt like it was just a natural thing that you're just going to take advantage of the platform?
Yeah, my thing is I see the positives in it, right, as well as the cons, and I was like, I have this platform that can help me, and I can also connect with people who really like are supportive of me. So I just wanted to take advantage of it and try to do it in the way that I've always wanted to do it, right? Yeah. That I always saw social media can be.
Did any like social media type agencies reach out to you about this, or was it just
a few here and there? Yeah.
Because I feel like everyone's looking like, oh my God, Goldmine, this dude is just on the show, and we have an opportunity to blow him up
for sure.
So you are answering DMs? Are you?
I'm trying to. It's just so much overload, right? So just trying to sort it out, and it's so much happening.
What's the common message that you're getting from these fans? Like,
oh, just like, can I be your friend, or like really loved you on the show, or stuff like that.
How weird.
Yeah, it's cool though.
Is it?
Yeah.
Have you built new like friendships from the outside of the cast and crew or whatever? Have you found yourself connecting with anybody outside of?
Yeah, there's some people that I've connected through from online. Yeah.
Is it strange?
It's strange, but it's fascinatingly like natural,
Yeah, because I feel like I think this is what's weird for you. Is I know a lot about you. You don't know anything about me. Mm-hmm. So when we meet, for me, it's like I'm meeting my friend. Oh, and I think that's what's interesting about celebrity and artists and things like that.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like this. They know everything about you. And how?
Yeah.
Do you ever have to explain that to people, or have you found yourself having to explain like, this is great that you are enjoying this so much, but I don't know you.
Yeah. No, man, it's actually kind of nice that they know me and stuff, because it's like at least like they understand me, right? Or if they see me on the street or stuff. But yeah, it is interesting. It's an interesting relationship where like if someone sees us, they're like they know us and we don't know them.
Yeah.
But that's why I try to get to know them. But yeah, it's an interesting point.
Do you feel like it was harder before to meet people? Do you feel like you're hard to explain yourself? Like when you say it like that, like it's easier that they just already know you?
In some way, because I did all these different stuff, and I'm not easily categorized, if that makes sense. So I think now at least people know that he did all these different stuff and avenues.
Right, and you now I just saw rolled out your Mizzard. She got some merch.
Yeah, what it is.
You said your friend did?
Created it. Yeah, my best friend from school created the designs and stuff.
Did you just hit him up and was like, yo, I feel like people would like this, or what?
Yeah, no, we worked together and stuff, and he reached out to me. We've always been talking because we're great friends and stuff. So I was like, I thought it'd be a good way to share it with them, and it's a good way, good experience to see how it would work.
Yeah, how's it going so far? Has it been cool?
Yeah, it's been great, man. I learned a lot about the whole e-commerce stuff, and it's nice just sharing it, like connecting with the fans about it.
Is anyone else from the show doing something like that?
I feel like they will eventually. All of them will. Or some of them will.
Because I saw. Like last night I went to Joey's Instagram, and then this dude's like out in New York and he's just getting bombed by fans, and it's like it's crazy what this really like. If you look at it from a YouTuber standpoint, and I'm interested to know if you're interested in YouTube at all. Yeah. But like a lot of these people go out and they start daily vlogging or whatever. Yeah. And it just explodes or skits. Are you interested in any like taking on a channel? Like would you develop a channel? I
think it would be smart because I think skits would showcase my acting.
Right.
So I think that would be a cool avenue to go to.
And I mean, now living here, it's like you're kind of circling back, but you're a reason why creators would want to thrive around you from the standpoint of just having an immediate fan base.
Yeah, for sure, man.
What kind of projects would you want to take on outside of like obviously your own skits? Like what would be an ideal acting job that you could do right now if you could pick one?
Oh, I don't know, man. I'm a huge sucker for Netflix. You know, I love Netflix. I don't know, one of their shows, like I love their original shows, so maybe like a supporting cast or something.
What's your favorite show that they have out right now besides your own?
On Netflix?
Yeah.
I'm a big Black Mirror guy.
Yeah?
Yeah, Black Mirror was really sick.
It's wild, right?
It's crazy, man.
I've only ever seen. I didn't understand that when I started it that it was like a different show every time. So I didn't. Yeah. I got turned off right away, and then Dave's been like avid. He's like just watch it.
That's sick. Yeah, it's lit.
There's some wild scenarios on there. So Black Mirror could be dope.
Black Mirror is really sick.
What else would you like?
I'm trying to think. What else? I mean, they're across the right. So like, I like Curb Your Enthusiasm on HBO.
The best.
I love Larry David.
Have you been watching the new season?
I have. Dude.
Unreal, right?
Unreal, man. The guy's a legend. He looks the
He's
same.
so I know, man. It's insane. He's hilarious.
I gotta get his health regimen. I love Larry David.
He's on it, and it's
smartest guy.
And I love also just because me and my girl hadn't seen that, and we just we binged it. So we started binging it. I'd seen the episodes, but we watched everything all the way through and got done basically when they announced the new season.
Yeah.
I was like, oh hell yeah! And it's crazy to watch LA change. Like if you start at the beginning and ride through
2000, yeah.
Because it's like back then there's all these, there's valets different and all these these things that you had to do in restaurants in LA were different. And then in this season, he like right out the gate, he walks by and he just tips over the birds.
Oh, that was so funny. I loved it.
It's brilliant, man.
Larry's so great.
He is. Is there any other shows that are on the top of your list right now that you like?
A Bates Motel, I really like that.
Great
show. Silicon Valley was really fun.
Yeah.
Westworld, that was great.
I think you would kill in like a Silicon Valley.
Oh, really?
You would kill in that.
Thanks, man.
But would you want to lean into comedy at all, or what? Like, is there a specific type of role you prefer to play?
I mean, I like them all. Anything that I get, I was.
Well, you're funny naturally. Like I feel like you just have like a comedic bone,
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I would like that. I like lighthearted stuff like that also.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Out of all this, what is one of like your biggest takeaways, I think, from having participated in something like this, having such a global reach, understanding that there's like hundreds of thousands and millions of people that are Netflix doesn't share their stats, I don't think, but a lot of people have looked at you for a long time, for like hours, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's crazy.
What's your takeaway from all this?
I think the biggest thing I learned is like, especially with my views on social media, it's always better just to, instead of too quick to say something, maybe just take a step back and look at the whole systems and really see every single viewpoint. And that's what I've done, just take a step back and be a little slower with, classifying stuff. And I'm grateful. More than anything, I'm just grateful for this whole thing.
Man, I bet.
Whatever happens, happens. Just,
That's crazy, man. Yeah. So we do a Q&A experience. We have like a Patreon community, so I wanted to make sure that they can ask you some questions.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's do this. Dakota says, Shooby.
Hey.
He goes, America's favorite right here. First he says, you should have won. Anyways, a trend I've noticed in reality TV is guests coming out of an experience and launching their career using the show as their kickoff. Was this your main focus and goal going into the show? Or was trying to win the money more important?
For me, it was all about, I love these competition shows. It was the experience of that first and foremost, and just playing it. And I thought it'd be so fun and great. Of course, in the back of my mind, I thought, something could help. You never know what. You just never know what something will do, right? So that was kind of in the back of my head. But for me, it was just all about, I thought this would be an incredible experience, a once-in-a-lifetime thing. Yeah. And it was.
Were you preparing when the show was coming to, like, when the show launched, did you prepare in any way for a social wave? Like, did you gut your Instagram and get rid of, like, old corny, or anything corny or whatever?
I mean, some corny stuff yeah, a little bit. Stuff that didn't make sense. I just, like, edited a little corny stuff.
Right.
No. I think, I don't even remember.
Right.
But for the most part, it was all there.
But was there any preparation or plan that you had?
No, I mean, I was trying to figure out my goals and stuff, but I didn't prep. I should have prepped more, probably.
How much of a warning did they give you before did they tell you, like, hey, it's coming out? Or?
Yeah, I think they told us a couple months before when it was coming out. Yeah.
Man, that's got to feel good, though, because a lot of shows go into production and just never end up coming out.
That's the worst feeling, man. That would be the worst.
Did you there's probably no way, like...
I didn't think for Netflix. I think if it was broadcast, it would have been a different story. But with Netflix, you buy it, so they have nothing to lose from airing it then.
It's such a cool opportunity for them to take on what MTV had originally created.
Yeah.
But now for someone like Netflix to come into the space and everyone to have ignored it at the front, and now it's just crushing. It's unreal. All right, Mario, we have 2 questions left. Mario said, Shubham, during the show, we see your relationship with Rebecca and Seaburn. The connection created between you two. To look for what we have in common is better than what our differences are. And my question is, do you think that being ourselves is the most powerful tool that allows us to connect more over the internet?
Yeah, I think so, 100%. I think showing, like, you know, it's often a comparison contest online, but if you show that even if you have weaknesses or vulnerabilities, it is great to, you know, connect. Like, see, me and Rebecca were different, but we were also similar, right?
Yeah.
So me and Seaburn, we both, like, love Marvel and sword fighting, but it's such, you know, it's different stuff, right?
Right.
And, like, you know, we were both kind, tried to be kind people. So, yeah, I think it is all about, you know, being yourself. There is ways to connect there. You don't have to have a similar thing as them to connect. Even if you don't have stuff similar, I think you'll still be able to connect.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
My boy Marcus Frisky, he's like the head of social at EA Sports.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, he said, I'd ask him before the show, without social media, how did he get his news, hear about new and good products, entertain himself, and see what was happening around the world? It's a great question. Like, without,
that's a great question, man.
Yeah, how did you go about doing that?
So a lot of it, I mean, I'm subscribed to a lot of, like, traditional news online, like the LA Times, the New York Times, Politico, and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, a lot of it for news or products, I would do, like, YouTube, right? I would see a lot of I had similar, like, some channels I would look at that I would, like, love to watch.
Right.
Like, movie trailers were a big part. And then sometimes, yeah, man, I would check Twitter every once in a while because it's a good pulse for what's happening in the news.
Right.
So those are all the different ways I would connect.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to wrap it up on this one.
Sure.
If you were to have won the 100K, what would you really have done with that bread?
You know, I'm trying to get my master's also.
Damn.
On the side and stuff, so I'd probably put the tuition to that.
You're currently going after getting your master's?
No, I'm applying to stuff, see what happens, but yeah, I would have put the money towards that.
What do you want to get your master's in?
Probably like software engineering or MBA or.
Wow. You're adding that to the plate right now? That's insane.
Yeah, just on the side, you know.
Yeah, I just do a lot of things and I'm good at it. That's tight, dude. Man, this was awesome.
Yeah, this was sick, man.
I appreciate you coming on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So each episode with my guests, I make it so that you have to pick this hashtag, right?
Sure.
And what I'm going to tell everyone that's listening to this point, so this is a way for us to know that they listened to this episode all the way through.
Yeah.
They're going to go, we have this on YouTube, so if you're listening, go to YouTube and leave a comment, and they're going to put this hashtag that you put, so we both know that they made it that far.
That's smart.
But also, I want them to add their biggest takeaway from the episode. So whatever your biggest takeaway is, add that to the hashtag. So
that's sick, man.
What do you want the hashtag to be? It could be anything you want.
Hashtag hungry.
Are you hungry right now?
A little bit. Yeah.
All right, that's it. Hashtag hungry. Man, I appreciate it. Is there anything else you want to say?
No, man. Thanks so much for having me. I appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, absolutely, dude.
Yeah.
Thank you for stopping by, man.
Yeah.
All right, cool. That's it. Boom.
Boom.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, man. That was sick.
That's it for episode 162. Huge thank you to Shubham for coming on the show. Thanks to everyone that listened all the way through. We appreciate it, and we'd hope that you guys post in the comment section on our YouTube channel with this video. If you could post your takeaways like we asked at the end of the episode. We'd love to hear what you guys have to say and what you got from this episode. And if you want a chance to ask any of our future guests a question during the Q&A experience of the podcast, go to jointhehomies.com. Join us there, and you'll be able to submit your questions. Follow us on Instagram at Black Window Cream. Catch the highlights from the show on YouTube as well. So we're posting all kinds of shit out there. We out here posting. So that's it. I love y'all. Thanks for listening. See you in a few days. You bitch.